Welcome back to all students. We are going to continue our chapter, that is Albert Einstein at school, and this is the part 2. In the previous video we have talked a lot about Albert Einstein, and we also talked about the argument, a very fruitful argument, we can say, from Einstein point of view. It was done between Einstein and his history teacher. So now we will move a little bit more further and we will try to know what happened next. Okay, so here we are, line by line. But at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. So Albert returned to his home. We was on that Albert was returning from his school, and in the way he was very upset, not because the argument that had been done in the school that day, but he will have to move to that particular place once again the very next morning. So he was now at his room and he called Yuri, and Yuri came in the evening. When he came, he was talking to Albert and he was saying, at least you have a room of your own. You are very fortunate, though the room is not well equipped. It's true that it is one of the poorest area of Munich. Even then, at least you are very lucky as you have a room of your own. And then he said, at least, now Albert Einstein said, at least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. Albert also gave his remark, and he appreciated Yuri, the climate in which Yuri lived, and he was saying that you are also very fortunate because the place in which you live is totally full of civilized people. And what happened to the one who killed him? Now Albert also asked a thing. What happened with that particular? Means there was a rush over there in the locality. So that's why he was asked that what happened to the one who killed him. Why he asked so? Because previously Yuri denied they all are not civilized. Not every one of my locality is civilized. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? Duel means a fight, one-on-one. So in one-on-one fight, a person killed other. And when he informed this thing to Albert Einstein, Einstein asked, what happened to the one who killed him? Nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. The person who killed was having proud on his ability, on his power, on his strength. Instead of repenting, instead of getting any punishment, he was having proud on himself. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. Now there is only one tension in his mind, and that tension caused only because the authorities have forbade him to fight, any duel. And that's why he was so upset, because he is not going to take part in any competition now. So he is upset about this because he has not a single scar on his face to bear the rest of his life as a badge of honor. There should be a sign, there should be a proof. Now I am such a powerful person. and that sign can be gained through the scars that we received in one-on-one fight. There was not a single scar on his face, on his body, by which he can claim that now I am one of the greatest fighter of my time. Oh, Albert explained. And these are the students. And these are the students. Albert, why you will be a student one day, said Yuri. Yuri also asked, not to worry, one day you also be a student. Now the conversation once again returned to the main point. And what was the main point? Student. For becoming a student, a diploma is very necessary. So while you have a student one day, said Yuri, you will also be a student one day, Albert. When Yuri claimed this, Albert replied, I doubt it. I doubt it. And why he said so? Because he don't think he will ever pass the exams for the school diploma. As he know very well that he is not very good in other subjects, and that's why he will not be able to crack the examination. Okay? Next. Now conversation once again changed. And this time he told his cousin Elsa the same next time she came to Munich. When Elsa came to Munich, Elsa, his cousin, when she came to Munich, Albert told this incident to her also. Normally she lived in Berlin. Basically Elsa belonged to Berlin. But where her father had a business. And why she lived there? As her father is having a business over there. Okay? Now, I am sure you could learn enough to pass the exam, Albert. As both Elsa and Albert, they are cousins. So that's why she knew the quality of Albert, and she is motivating Albert by saying, I know you could learn enough to pass the exam, Albert, if you tried. She said, I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are. Means she also thinks Albert as a stupid. And she is saying, there are a lot of boys who are much more stupid than you are. They succeed in the examination. They get through. They pass the exam. You are plenty, you are more intelligent. You are not of such a standard. You are not so stupid as those people. When they can pass, you also can pass. What is the typicality? What is the typicality? So they say you don't have to know anything. Now these students, those who are not very good, those who are stupid, they say, what they say? They say you don't have to know anything. It's not necessary to pass an examination. It's not necessary that you know each and everything. It's not necessary. What is necessary then? You don't have to understand what you are taught. And secondly, you also don't bother yourself to understand the concept that has been taught to you. All that is needed from you is only to repeat all the things in the exams. If you are able to repeat the things, and it's a question mark on the present education system. That's why a very famous proverb is also there. A sheet of paper cannot decide your future, dears. Because doesn't matter that you didn't get through that particular exam, it means you are stupid. You don't have talent. What we usually do, we learn things, we cram things, and does this cramming is only a guarantee that you are a talented boy or a talented girl. Is it so? Not at all. So that's why Einstein, she's also saying, she's saying that it's not necessary. It's not necessary that you learn things. Sometimes basically when we don't know even the single concept, even then we are able to pass the exams. Okay, I hope the things are clear. Next paragraph. So that's the whole troubles at Albert. Dear, this is the main problem. Now you come to the point, Elsa. This is the main problem. Anyone can learn like a parrot. Like you all are learning the chemical formulas, NaCl, 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 H2SO4, H2SO4, H2SO4. From the very beginning of your life. Have you invented anything? Not at all. So by knowing some formulas, by knowing some concepts, how can you claim that you are very talented? You have learned just simple things, and on that particular method you are solving the problems, that's it. Isn't it? Actually it is. So Einstein is saying, what Einstein is saying? I am no good at learning things by heart. I can't do this. I can't do this. हमसे ना हो पाएगा. I am no good at learning things by heart. You don't need to be good at it, Einstein. Now Elsa once again she is suggesting, she is motivating Einstein, and she is saying, my dear, it is not necessary that you should be very good at cramming things. Anyone can learn like parrot. You just don't try. Actually, what is the problem? You are not trying. And that's because only you are not comfortable with your subject. And yet I always see you with a book under your arms. But it's also true that you are not learning things. But usually I saw you, whenever I see you, there is a book with you. Added Elsa. What is the one you are reading? Then what are you reading? If you are not learning things, if you are not learning like a parrot, then what are you doing? Now, Albert replied, a book on geology. A book on geology? Geology? Rocks and things. Geology is the subject in which we study about rocks and things, isn't it? Do you learn that? Elsa asked. Do you learn means rocks, materials and other things like that? Now Albert replied, no, we have hardly any science at a school. No. This book doesn't belong to our syllabus. We don't study about science at a school. Then why are you studying it, dear? If this thing doesn't belong to your syllabus, then why are you learning it? Why are you cramming it? Because I like it, Albert said. Now Albert said, I am going through it again and again because I like it. I prefer it. Is not that a good reason? Is not that enough a good reason? Isn't sufficient to explain that I am reading this particular book because I like this particular book? I think it is more than sufficient. Elsa sighed. Oh, you are right, of course, Albert. You're right. But it won't help you with your exams, with your diploma. Why are you not understanding it? Apart from books on science, now conversation has been done. Things are changed once again. Okay, please pay attention. Apart from books on science, his only comfort was music. Except science, Einstein also prefers music. And he played his violin regularly until his landlady asked him to stop. He used to play his violin. Up to which time, till his landlady forced him to stop, asked him to stop. That wailing gets on my nerves. She was too much fed up with the sound of violin, and she has compared the sound of violin with crying, with weeping, and that's why she is saying it is no less than a wailing that gets on my nerves. I am too much fed up with it. There is enough noise in this house with all the kids howling. We have already so many boys, so many kids in a house, and they are talking a lot, making a lot of noise, and it's more than sufficient. And above all, you are playing with this violin. It's beyond tolerance now. Now, Albert was tempted to point out the most of the time it was she who made the howl. As we know, Albert is very, his presence of mind is very good. He is very expert in answering. He knew the answer, that it is only you, the landlady. You used to howl a lot. You yourself creating a lot of disorder, not these kids or my violin. But he didn't reply. This time he used his mind and he didn't reply. And why? And that's why he decided it is better to stay quiet. Because he knew in his mind that he is suffering a lot because of that particular teacher. Now if he will create or argue over here, maybe it will add something to his difficulties. Okay? So Albert, I must get away from here, he told Yuri. Now conversation has been done. Something else. Okay? Now there is a conversation between Yuri and Albert. Now Albert is talking to Yuri and he is saying, I just wanted to get away from here. Albert was tempted to point out, I must get away from here, he told Yuri after 6 months alone in Munich. After 6 months, I just want to leave this place. It is absurd that I should go on like this. In the end, it will turn out I have been wasting my father's money and everyone's time. So it will be better for all if I stop now. Actually, we know ourselves better. There is no other in the entire world who knew better than ourselves, who knew us better than ourselves. I know my capacities, I know my strength, I know my flaws, I know my drawbacks. I can easily implement all the things. Okay? So Einstein knew in himself, by staying over there in the school, he is wasting his father's money, his time. Apart from his time, he is also wasting school's time, teacher's time, and also he is not getting anything. And that's why he is saying it is better for all if I stop now. I should stop studying right now. And then what will you do? Yuri asked. If you will stop, then what will you do, dear? Now Albert was asked this question from Yuri. I don't know. If I go to Milan, I am afraid my father will send me back. Albert was also not certain about what he will do. That's why he is saying, I don't know. Even if I went back to Milan, definitely my father, he will send me back. And why? Unless. My father will send me back unless, as we know, there is a difference between unless and until. So many people used to say unless, until together. No, dears, grammatically incorrect. Unless means condition. It always denotes a condition, while until denotes time. There is huge difference between these two words. Unless and until you will do it. Especially the teachers, we used to say, I have seen so many teachers talking like this. This is incorrect, okay? Improve it. So, unless means a condition is there in his mind. There is a plan, Einstein's plan. And what is Einstein's plan? His eyes gleamed with a sudden idea. There is a shining in his eyes now as an idea strikes to his mind. Yuri, do you know any friendly doctor? Now he asked Yuri, do you know anyone who is a doctor and who is also a close friend? Do you know anyone? I know a lot of medical students and some of them are very friendly. Often we behave like this to our friends, showing our arrogance, showing our talent, showing our power. So such was Yuri's remark. Yes, I know so many. And so many are very good doctors. And apart from doctors, they are very friendly to me, Yuri said. Okay. Doctors? Okay. And some of them said Yuri. Doctors, no. I have never had enough money to go to one. But no. Doctors, I don't have any friendship with doctors. Because I don't have any sufficient amount so that I can visit a doctor. For doctors needs fees. Some of you will become a doctor after some time. 500 rupees only to have a look on your patients. Isn't it? Money matters, dear. So it will matter a lot. So Yuri is saying actually he did not have sufficient amount. That's why he never visited a doctor. But why are you asking all this? Suppose, Albert said. Now Albert came up with his plan. Yuri, suppose I had a nervous breakdown. Nervous breakdown means psychological problem. I am a lot of tense while doing things. I am not able to decide what to do and what to not. Nervous breakdown. So suppose Yuri, I am a victim of nervous breakdown. Albert said. Suppose a doctor would say it is bad for me to go to school. And suppose Yuri, if a doctor will say, if a doctor claimed, if a doctor circulated a report that you are not fit enough to attend the school and I need to get right away from it, and it is better for me to take a bed rest or to leave the school at once, what will happen, Yuri? It's a great plan. I can get rid of this problem very easily without creating any disorder. So this was Albert's plan, and he is also saying, I cannot imagine a doctor saying that, said Yuri. Now Yuri was doubtful. He said, no, I cannot expect that a doctor will tell a lie. Albert said, I must try. We should try, Yuri. I must try. I will try out. Now Albert is saying, I must try to find a doctor who specializes in nerves. Now Albert finally putting a nail to his plan that now if you will not, then I will try to find out a doctor who specializes in nerves. So there are plenty of them, Yuri told him. Now Yuri told that a lot of doctors are there in the world, there in that city also. He hesitated for a moment and then added rather reluctantly, I will ask some of the students if they know one, if you like. Then he became hesitated, and then doubtfully he just improved his statement and he said, if you will permit me, then I will ask to some of the students if you know whether they know any of the doctor who has specialized in nerves. So will you? Oh, thank you, Yuri. Now Albert, he became very happy and he thanked Yuri for whatever he is going to do for Albert Einstein. Albert's eyes were shining. At that time, there was a shine in Albert's eyes. What a moment! I haven't found one yet. Why are you so excited, Albert? I haven't found anyone right now, at present. Oh, but you will. So this is just like a strategy. I know you can do it for me, Yuri. You will definitely do it. जब हमें किसी से मतलब निकालना होता है तो हम ऐसे ही टंग का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Polish on shoes, just shine it. Okay. So, but you will. And if I do I don't know if he will be willing to help you. Okay, but there is also no surety, dear. If I found, even then, if he will not agree to help you out, then what will you do? Now, Albert is saying he will, decided Albert. Now Albert, no, he will help me. Just go and find out. You don't say anything. And he laughed. I am going to have a real nervous breakdown to make it easier for me. I will react in the way. Now there is a plan. Albert was very genius, dears. You know, Albert Einstein, a scientist. A scientist can be genius in all the fields. So he is also very genius in making the excuses. So he was making the things very real. There is a plan in his mind that I will make the things very real. I will behave. I will show off. I will react in the same as I am really a patient of nervous breakdown. Okay, so the same is written over here. I am going to have a real nervous breakdown to make it easier for me. And he laughed merrily, and he started laughing happily. I have never seen you laughing, looking less nervous, remarked Yuri. As Albert was very excited, automatically with excitement comes nervousness. So there was nervousness in the mind of Albert Einstein. And that's why Yuri added, I also have never seen you much more nervous than this present day. Okay students, so this is the second part 2 of the Albert Einstein. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Even then, if any query, you are heartily welcome to the R group. Till then, keep learning, keep watching, keep smiling. Stay tuned with the web. Thank you.